Hi,
Hello,
my name is Will,
my name is Anuja.
and together we are celebrating our 16-year anniversary of being teachers.
Yes!
We made it! Anuja and I met when we were 30. We'll start there. Wow, how have you been?
I've been good.
Good.
It's been a journey.
Yeah.
Total journey
I
of
bet.
16 years.
16 years.
And we're
Yes,
still friends.
we're still friends.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
We met February 2006. That's when teacher training started. I want to say February, January, I don't remember. But we did graduate
In September.
in September.
Yeah.
And it was Yoga Sources, shout out Linda, her first teacher training.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
I remember the specifics because she could only certify 13 people.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so I came on board as an audit, meaning that I paid, but I didn't pay the full tuition because I don't get certified.
Oh.
But somebody dropped out.
Oh.
Yeah, 2
Yes,
weeks later,
yes,
somebody dropped
yes.
out, and that's when I weaseled my way into it. And I'm like, I'm gonna get certified.
Yeah.
I even asked for a payment plan.
Yeah.
I asked for a payment plan in order to do that program. But yeah,
I think even I did.
Yeah.
There was a dropout. I sent her this long email why I want to do this teacher training.
Yeah.
And she said, no, Anuja, it's full. And I'm like, you know what? It's not meant to be. And then I remember this was on the weekday, and Saturday, Ron and I were going out for lunch. And suddenly I get this email, and Linda is like, are you ready to make the payment tomorrow? And I'm like, I'll make it now.
wow.
And
That's
she said, somebody dropped out, and I want you to join the group.
That's a
Yes,
There you go.
it was meant to be.
There we go. There we go. Thank you for the dropouts.
Yes, yes.
Do you remember when our first icebreaker was, I want you to say your name, I want you to lead us to sun salutation, and I want you to tell us why you want to be a yoga teacher. Do you remember that?
You know, I don't remember that.
Oh, you don't remember?
No.
Wow. I remember it specifically because I didn't know what a sun salutation was. So of course I'm sitting there. Thank God my friend Melissa was in the teacher training with me, and I'm like, what is a sun salutation? She goes, Will, come on, inhale, exhale, you take a vinyasa. I'm like, okay. And then so I did it. She goes, hi, my name is Will, here's your sun salutation. And after the sun salutation, I said, why do I want to be a yoga teacher? I didn't have an answer, so I said, because I want to help people look hot forever. And
That is so well.
it crashed. Nobody laughed. Nobody laughed. And I'm looking in the room, everyone's wearing their Lululemon outfits, like none of y'all want to look hot forever. And then finally they left.
So I don't have a memory of what I did. I really don't, and I hope somebody has it. But I have to say this. For all my teacher trainings, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Every teacher training, that's exactly what I do. But I don't remember my own self.
That's awesome. So that's how you birthday ice did?
Yes, so that's the first day,
Yeah.
within 2 hours,
Yeah.
they're in a circle facing outside, and we're like, okay, let's do some sun salutations. And they're like, okay, and I'll say, I'll start, and then you will teach one. And there's like silence of death.
Yeah.
And no, what do you mean? I said, I will teach, and then you will teach. And that's what I've been doing for the last 5 years.
I love that. Same with us. That's how our icebreaker is.
Yes.
We do the sun salutation.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Linda. Wow. Do you remember what was your favorite takeaway from that experience? I mean, it was a first for both of us. We didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, we didn't know what to expect. So
Besides us being friends.
yes, exactly. I think for me, there were a couple of things. There were a lot of friendships that I took away, and I think for me there were two big things. When Linda kept telling us that, remember that you're good enough. Mm-hmm. You're good enough, because we always wanted to become like Linda, and we were like, when will I become as good as Linda? And Linda would always say, you're good enough, and believe in that. And for me, that was a really big turning point, where I was like, I am good enough.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think, but I know I'm good enough.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
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 What about you? Did you have any takeaway?
I was just nervous as I was fish out of water. You know, I've only been practicing maybe about 6 months, maybe 7 months. Yeah, I don't have like a long, but yeah, I've only discovered yoga, and I was so jaded because all I did was power.
Mm.
So
We all did that.
yeah, you know. I do remember though, like meeting the rest of the yoga source folks, and I wanted to infiltrate. I said, I'm gonna get into that circle. I'm so, and because when we went, we always showed up with our mats and like we went to our go-to.
Yes.
So one day I decided I'm gonna go where the cool kids practice, and I just went in between them, and I got names, and before you know, we're all lunching together, and yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
Yeah. Do you think, like, I mean, I know that the training of 6 months made us so strong because we're practicing so much, but do you think, like, personally it brought about a change in you which till date you carry with you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have that kind of a thing that it changed me as like a human being?
I definitely, I think confidence.
Yes.
I always hid behind my jokes,
Yes.
but then when I found something I really loved, I'm like, oh man, this power stuff really was right. Coming from like a teacher perspective, it's different when you're a student, right? Because then you can like go with flow and look how badass I am. But like being ordered to teach that stuff, that was, to me, was groundbreaking. Like I never thought I'd be a teacher.
Yeah.
And become really good at it. Become really good at it.
Yeah, your confidence was something that I took away, and I mean, till date, that confidence I carry because of that teacher training, which totally changed the way I thought about myself. Yeah. So that all teacher trainings will bring about a change, not just physically, but I think also like mentally, emotionally, and you'll take it with you in some form or the other going forward. So,
what kind of experience do you want your students to walk away with? Like, what is that aha that you hope at the minimum?
So for me, I like my classes to be like a mind, body, soul connection, and as you will also say for yourself that in all these 16 years we have evolved. We've changed as yoga instructors, and it was power, 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 and then it started becoming something else, and now we're focusing, as also we become younger, we have to see our bodies differently, so for me it is a physical challenge. I like to give a bit of physical challenge. I like to give a bit of mental challenge by holding poses a little longer, because people detest it in some form or the other, but that's their test to hold it and kind of bring about a shift. And I like people to take away something, whether I say something, it's my theme of the class, or I read something where it's like food for thought. When I go home, I'm driving home and I'm like, I like what that meant, and I'm going to try to do that, or it brought tears to my eyes, or it made me happy, or something. So I like people going back, and you were the one who changed my whole attitude about my classes being fun.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't remember that conversation? We were against the window, and people were teaching, and we were watching, and everybody's joking, and I look at Will and I'm like, how can people like laugh and joke in a yoga class? And he looks at me and he says, girl, have you seen yourself? You're giggling all the time.
Right.
And I was like, really? And I come from a culture where yoga is a serious affair, okay? And that day was such a day for me, where today I joke, I laugh, I crack people up, and I'm like, thank you, Will, for bringing that in me, because I think
awesome.
I would have been like a very serious teacher otherwise.
Well, the funny, I mean, the ironic part about it, that's what drew me to you, was that you were always jovial and laughing and stuff like that. But I just thought like, oh, she hasn't married the two.
Yeah.
And to me, I didn't know, like, you're not supposed to, I had no idea. Like, again, like, I just come from a power space, and it's all about the workout, whatnot. I just didn't know what kind of teacher I was supposed to be, or what classes, or how teachers are supposed to behave.
Yes.
Right? And so coming into that experience alone, like meeting a tall supermodel, and meeting you and Ron, for instance, like I never hung out with yogis like that before. And girl, the parties. That's another episode.
Yes, that's another episode. And these were fun yogis, where we were having fun, we were enjoying life, we were teaching yoga with all our, dedication, our seriousness and everything. But it was fun. We were enjoying it. We were enjoying that whole process. And you know, this whole journey of being a teacher and then moving into opening the studio.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we both opened our yoga studios, and
Yeah.
I opened in 2010.
Yes, I was 6 months behind you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
6
Yes.
months. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love to. So may I ask, did you have an aha moment that it came to you, or was it always in the works?
It was never in the works. So I was renting a space in Almaden, where Almaden Yoga is, and it was a martial arts space. And this owner one day said, "Hey, Anuja, you know, we should showcase what we do over here. So let's do an open house one day." So I said, "Okay." So I came in prepared, and I came in with like sheets of paper, pens, and there were other teachers who were teaching other things, and they were demoing. I sat outside talking to people about yoga, and by the end of the day, I had 150 email addresses.
Wow.
And they all wanted to do yoga. And I go home and I'm like, Ron, all these people want to do yoga, but I have only 5 who show up to my Thursday class. And that's when I think something hit me, and I said, what if I open my own yoga studio?
Mm-hmm.
Because now I'm a master of my own timing, and I'm not relying on somebody's rental space. And that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. And it just so happened there was a space in the same plaza. I called them, and I remember by the time I drove home, I had all the details on what the rent is, and Ron and I sat and created a business plan, and that.
Wow. You know what also stood out for me, like in the get-go, was your logo.
Oh,
You had
yes,
it inverted,
yes.
inverted. Was it the G that was inverted?
Yes,
yeah.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
just thought it was brilliant. It was like, you can't not get it. It's
Yeah.
Almaden Yoga with an
The G,
inverted
yes,
G.
that's my friend Suhita who did the design and logo for
Yeah,
us.
that was really clever.
Yeah.
See, well done.
Thank you.
I remember too when y'all first opened, because when we decided we were going to open, Anuja and Ron, your other half, were kind of like our unofficial consultants. Because we were thinking this. I remember, I don't know if it was you or Ron, but I remember being on a phone call and said, well, we had choices. We had a 900 square foot or a 1400 square foot. I want to say it was Ron. Ron was business minded in a sense like, dude, if you plan on growing your business, why are you going to stick with 900? I'm like, such a bitch. So I went with the 1400. Thank you, Ron. It was like, you don't think in terms of
Yes,
like, I'm going to be
yes.
successful.
Yeah,
You just want to
yeah.
kind of keep it reserved. But
Yeah.
like you said, dude, take the risk. If you plan on going in this space, plan on growing. So
Yeah.
that was great.
How was your, like you and Aaron coming to this space of starting Yoga Belly?
We unofficially made an offer to Yoga Source, to be Yoga Source 3. And I can say that publicly because this is what had happened as
Okay.
far as my interpretation of it. We had approached Yoga Source to see if we could become number 3. And because at the time, the 2 owners already were pregnant, I guess that's a story. Legendary. They said, we can consider this, but you have to wait 2 years. Let us have our children. Let us have, some time.
Yeah.
But I was ready to give birth.
Exactly.
I was like, I was ready. So the funny part is like the inspiration was to join the family. And the other thing clicked for Aaron and I. It says we are not yogis at all. I'll tell you right now. Well, back in the day. I don't even know to this day if I can say it. Bonfire.
Yeah.
We decided right then, because if we're not going to be a legit yoga center, because we're not legit yogis, we eat meat, we drink, we are party boys. We said, why don't we just open up something where we can do power yoga all day and focus on the workout. And I know people don't like to associate that, but we want to be a workout center where we did power yoga all day, all night. And then the name was crucial. We actually came up with core or something a long time ago. We're like, no. And finally, I just thought like, what is it that people look at in the mirror when they feel like they need to go back to the gym? They're doing this stuff with.
Yes.
So I'm like thinking, Yoga Belly.
Yes, exactly.
Google searched it, no hits. No hits. And that's the thing that sparked right there. It's like Yoga Belly, and then a week later it was light on tradition, heavy on workout.
Yes, I love
And
that
then the
tagline
logo.
of yours.
Oh,
I
thank
loved
you.
it.
Yeah,
Yes, and
thank
it was
you.
so like real.
Yeah,
it was so
that was
real.
it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But that was a whole inspiration. It was very organic, right?
Yeah.
It
Yes.
came to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And it wasn't planned, but somewhere it just fell in place. It was one of those things as we were going along teaching in different places where you suddenly start realizing that what if, and then suddenly I believe that the moment that what if comes into your mind and you open it to the universe, boom, 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 everything starts falling into place. And I feel that's what happened with us.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How about the pandemic, sister?
Oh, jeez.
How about the pandemic, right? Like, oh, man. I remember us like having this come to Jesus moment, like every week. We're like, you know, like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Oh, going online, that was it. Oh, yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah. Did you think that you were gonna survive? Like, were you headstrong? Like, I'm gonna make this work.
I think firstly, I didn't think it would last this long. Okay, so it was like 2 months, maybe 3 months, maybe 4 months. Oh shit, 6 months?
Oh yeah.
8 months, 1 year, and then we started giving classes for free, and then we started charging and all that stuff, and then it just reached a point where like, when is this going to end? What's going to happen? And I did get to a point where, and we had just expanded our studio.
Yeah.
So 2019, we signed the lease to take over the next space. We got the renovations, everything. March, we were going to announce the opening, and boom, the shutdown.
God,
and so,
scary.
so the whole space was just closed.
Yeah.
And so I think for a few months there was stress, but then nothing. And then I think I did reach a point like, will we make it? Like, really? I don't think so.
Yeah.
And I remember it was, I think, a Diwali festival of that 2020, and I went to do a little ceremony at the studio, and Ron was there. And I remember I just broke down and I said, if I don't have this, what am I going to do in life?
Right. Yeah.
And that was the moment for me, like, whatever happens, I have to make it work.
Yeah, nice.
We have to make it work. And we still don't know where we will go, whether we're going to survive or not. But for me, it is like, I am going to put my 500% that I have been all these years, and more so now.
Nice.
So that was my aha moment where like, no, I cannot close this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and for us, it was like, I think the stars aligned because our lease was expiring at the following year. And so we hung in there, and like, even though we couldn't use the space, we just kind of let it lapse.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're not going to go back to that space. And then Aaron and I actually went back to work for a hot minute there. You know, it got to a point where I don't know what the future holds, but I know where money's going to come from.
Exactly. That's important.
You know, and at that moment, it's like Aaron was still in the middle of his teacher training for yoga therapy, and I just graduated from my 500 hour, and I'm like, I have all these certificates. Like, what am I going to do with them? Where am I going to hang these? You know, and we weren't going to reopen until we said, here's the criteria. Here are the 4 things that we are looking for, and if I don't have to like remodel, and if it presented itself, we're going to go back in the game. And lo and behold, all of those things happened. Like, of the minimum, let us have a bathroom.
Exactly.
Like, can we just have a bathroom? But yeah, we just asked for a kitchen, we asked for an office, we asked for hardwood floors, we asked for all those things, zero construction whatsoever.
Yeah,
so,
I know it is so beautiful that this game just fell into your lap, and you just grab the opportunity.
I'd like to think that we deserve this moment.
I think so too.
We deserve this moment.
Yes,
we
we
work
do.
really hard. We're good people.
Yes, we're good people. We're good people. We love what we do. I believe we're making a difference in people's lives.
Oh yeah, sure.
And that wakes me up every day, and makes me feel the way I feel, happy, joyous, and
Beautiful. Yeah.
this is life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yes.
What's your favorite swear word? Oh my god! Miss Quintessential Yoga Master?
I've had a few, and so the one that I use now is like the word like it sucks. Okay, I don't know if that's a swear word or not. Okay, but yes, I have.
That's a verb.
Okay, fine. So I tried very hard to keep the swear words away, and there've been some times when I've used the word like shit. Okay, I've not used the F word yet. I think so. I don't remember. But if I had,
you must be singing red.
yeah, it's like, oh, duck, kind of a thing. But I will use it when I'm familiar with all the people who are in the room, and I know that they'll take it as a joke.
Yeah.
They won't take it as like something serious.
Yeah.
The one thing I always talked about is like, okay, at the end of the class, enjoy the evening, and it would be like 7:38. I'm like, have a nice glass of wine. And I remember this one guy comes up after like few months of attending my class, and he comes and he says, I have a question. I'm like, what is it? He says, do you have drinking problems? I'm like, what? And he says, no, after every class in the evening, you say, enjoy a glass of wine. And I'm like, I don't think that has anything to do with a drinking problem.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of made me realize, oh, I need to control some few words that I say.
That's awesome. Yeah. Like you're projecting.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, no, I don't have any. I enjoy my glass of wine.
Yeah.
But I do not have a drinking problem.
Yeah. No, to enjoy it before.
Yes. What's your story?
Motherfucker.
The best thing about us is that we both are running our business with our partners. And I want to ask you how easy or tough it has been with, different personalities. Ron is so different than I am, and I think you and Aaron are different. How did you come to that place of like being this versus this?
Yeah.
Or were you always like this? I don't know.
I mean, it's been 16 years. Like it's just like everything else. You have ups and downs, and like timeout moments.
Yeah.
Timeout moments. In this new iteration, though, we have come to a space where like Aaron understands what my power is and says, why don't you just run that? In this term, it's the social media, anything that goes into print, anything goes in front of Instagram or social media, whatever. That's 100% like my deal.
Yeah.
When it comes to like administration and all these things to operate behind the scenes, like mind body and scheduling and putting classes on the schedule, that's all Aaron. So we definitely, we have a weekly meeting.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, we have a weekly meeting. We also have a sales meeting once a month to talk money. We try not to talk about money every day or every week. We just set, here's what we do. So it's come to a point where but lo and behold, he's not here. We also separate now and only spend 2 days together in the studio.
Okay, yes.
We call this learning center. It's a school. So, but anyway.
It is. Yeah, for us it was a challenge. Ron and I have very strong personalities. And I didn't realize I was so strong till I started Almaden yoga.
Yeah.
Okay, and we were at war. Differences, and personally we were, there were things going on. But it took us a few years to get to a place where we said that, you have your strengths and I have mine. Let's not focus on the weaknesses. Let's focus on the strengths. And when I bring my strength, you back off a little bit. And when you bring your strength, I back off a little bit.
Nice.
And I have to say that has worked. I'm still struggling for that weekly meeting to happen. It doesn't, because he does consulting work and he's busy on that. Sorry, I was about to just trip. But I think it took a toll on us, but it has now reached a very comfortable place where we both know when to back off.
Nice.
And I think when you do business with your partner, that is bound to happen. Where you take a little while to settle into the groove of things.
Totally. Like if there's a spat, give it a time limit and don't let it ruin the rest of your day. For us, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it. We get it all off your chest. Let's put it out on the table. 20 minutes later, one person has to go and approach the person saying, we have other things we got to do now.
Yeah.
There's other people that's waiting for us to show up. So let's do our best now to calm that down, make peace with that. That happened. Move on.
Yeah, ours is 30 minutes, and also
30 minutes, I love it. See?
Exactly. And the thing is that it trickles into other aspects of your relationship, and you don't want that.
Yeah.
So the moment you kind of all spit it out, it's done with, over with, move on. Yeah.
Love it.
So that's the way I feel.
So before we wrap up, Anuja, is there anything that you want to promote? Anything that you're working on? You want the people to know about?
Well, yoga classes weekly, Zumba classes we've started. We started something as Almaden Yoga and more, and we added Zumba and Bollywood fitness class. We are working on a couple of retreats for next year, India and Bali. and teacher training for next year. So as of now, big things, and then there are some workshops that are coming up. And if you go to almadenyoga.com, you should see all that information.
Fantastic. Any teacher trainings this year?
We're doing one teacher training. I'm in the middle of it,
Okay.
and we'll run the next one sometime March 2023.
Perfect.
What about you?
Next. We're just trying to promote our reopening here in Mountain View. So yeah, one thing I do want to put out there, we also offer teacher trainings, 200-hour program. But you can enroll in our teacher training pretty much any time.
Yeah, I
And
love
we'll set
this
up-
concept.
Yeah, but we'll set up a schedule when it's the best time for you to enter that space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. So if you're in San Jose, South Bay, please check out Almaden Yoga. If you're here in Mountain View, like that's our boundaries, what, Santa Clara?
Yes, yes, exactly.
If you're in Los Gatos, you know the choice, Yoga Source, right? So
Yes,
we're
yes.
one big happy family, and so
Yeah. And all this, 16 years, I mean, our queen is
Yeah.
still in Namagrath.
yeah, feel like that. So thank you so much for coming and doing this. with me.
Thank you, my darling. Always love you. Yes, yes.
Thank you for watching, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.